and welcome back to the Wolf Den. We're excited to have you here. Today I have John Hartzog, our FGC Esports coach. John, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Rebecca.
Can you please tell us about esports? What is this?
Oh, absolutely. So esports is competitive video gaming. So video games have obviously been around forever and ever and ever since, 70s, 80s, and they've gotten more and more advanced, bigger graphics, things like that. But in the past 10 years, we've ever seen a huge explosion on the competitive scene. Games like Overwatch, League of Legends, those types of games that take gamers from those single-player adventures into a multiplayer versus environment. And it's grown rapidly since its introduction.
Awesome. So were you a gamer back in the early days of video games?
I have been a hardcore gamer probably since I was about 4 or 5 years old. I remember getting my Nintendo Entertainment System and playing old 8-bit Mario in the evenings or whatever after dinner, and that was kind of like my reward. So I was just stuck with it, and to this day I still go home as a 35-year-old. I still go home and I play video games in the evening.
Awesome. So what's your game of choice? I'm guessing it's not Mario anymore.
No. Right now it's been a lot of Overwatch because of the season. We do have the Overwatch team here, and I can't let my athletes show me up, so I definitely put in the practice at home in the evenings as well.
I appreciate that competitive spirit. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little more about what games does FGC Esports compete in?
So we are part of the NJCAA, which is the esports division for the College Athletic Association that we're a part of. So there's a wide variety of games there that are options and available to us. But right now it's Smash Ultimate. Everyone's familiar with Smash from Nintendo, fighting game 1 versus 1. We're also playing as an Overwatch team as well, 6v6, a competitive-based shooter. So we are looking to expand in the fall as well because Rocket League is available to us. League of Legends is looking to become available to us in the fall. Halo Infinite has become recently launched, so they are looking at putting that into the competitive environment too, which is probably one of the more old school competitive games that kind of brought Xbox and late nights of Mountain Dew drinking and LAN parties and things that people remember from the early 2000s. So Halo Infinite's coming on board, and Mario Kart as well is coming on to the competitive environment in the fall as well.
Now that's exciting. Mm-hmm. I think everyone's played Mario Kart at some point in their life, right?
Yes. So it is going to be very interesting to see what happens on that scene. We're probably going to do that maybe as an intramural, because I've actually gotten a lot of response from staff and faculty that kind of are interested in competing, and they can compete in that intramural level against other students and faculty and staff from across the country at other colleges.
Oh, that's great. So if I was a student currently at FGC, could I compete in that intramural league in the fall as well?
Absolutely. It's open to all of our students. So it's more of an entry. You want to dip your toe in, see what competitive games is all about. There's no 12, 15 credit hour rule, no GPA rule. You can kind of elect to compete one week if you want, queue up, be matched with someone from another school to compete. If you decide next week that you got way too much stuff going on in your schedule and you can't queue up, then no harm, no foul. You just don't queue up, you don't get matched and competed that week. At Tier 2, which is what we're competing in with Overwatch and Smash, you do have a set time to compete and an opponent every week. That level, of course, at that level, scholarships are involved, as well as, you get your jerseys and things like that, a lot of nicer perks at that tier. But that intramural level is open for all faculty, staff, and students.
That's exciting. I can't wait to see who all participates in the
Yes,
fall.
I'm excited to see how many we show up. I think we're potentially looking at having some, first week back, having some open sessions to kind of see if we can get anyone who's involved, get the info out there, have them sign up, and then we'll start competing mid-September.
That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about this Tier 2. We're playing Smash and we're playing Overwatch. Mm-hmm. So when do they play, and is there a way to watch them?
Yes. So Tier 2 and Tier 1s, which are like the top 16 teams across the nation, and then Tier 2s are the ones that are in that next level that don't win that initial top tier tournament. So those are all kind of competing for, bragging rights per se and a trophy at the end of each season. For our Smash players do Wednesday nights between 5 and 6, depending on if we can get it going earlier or not. 6 is game time, and then Overwatch is Fridays at 6. This week is our last game of the season, so we're looking to secure a win to send us off into next season. And at that, we have our own Twitch channel. So most gamers are familiar with Twitch. So twitch.tv/FGC Timberwolves. And every game can be filmed there. We have VODs up on demand right after the games end. And they're there up for 2 weeks for people to catch up on the games that they want.
Excuse my ignorance, but tell me what a VOD is.
Video on demand.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I don't want to assume.
Yep.
That's awesome. So they would go to the Twitch channel to find those videos on
demand. Yes. Great thing about the Twitch channel too is there's panels below with all of the information, directing students if they want to, admit to the college, what they need to do to be part of the team. They can also reach out to me at esports@fgc.edu. To start getting that info, maybe schedule a time to meet, and they can even come in and practice with the team.
Okay. So what are some of those requirements to be part of the team? I'm a student here in the fall. I'm excited. I want to join the team. I want to get some information now, though, because as I plan my schedule, because fall registration is going to be right around the corner, and we're going to be registering for classes, so I want to map that out. What do I need to do to be a part of this team after I reach out to you? What are some additional requirements?
So definitely would prefer individuals to have at least some understanding of the games that they would like to play. Obviously, everybody has their particular game, but not all games are available to us. So definitely look and investigate what games that we compete in and which ones you would like to compete in. At that point, after you reached out to me, I'll meet with you, have you, if it's available, have you practice with the team if it's one of those team-based games. Get a feel for your competitive skill, where you're at as far as skill level, and then what your goals are as far as intentions at FGC, like what are you after as far as degree, that type of stuff. So then we can try to get you set up with an advisor, start working if mapping out a schedule, seeing if scholarship options are available to you if you're coming in from a distance, from originally from Orlando, Miami, something like that. We definitely want to start getting a process involved for you if you need to secure your dorm, if you need a dorm, as that process is ongoing right now as well. And so at that point, once we get that 12, 15 credit hours in place, and then we'll get you signed up for your Generation Esports account, which is the side that we manage all of our competitions through, where I submit rosters and all of that. So we'll get all of that set up as well, and then we just have to wait for mid-September to get you to start competing.
Awesome. So that's a lot of good information. And if you need a recap on any of that, please reach out to John Hartzog. I know you'd be happy to share that with them.
Absolutely.
For sure. So can you tell me, where does our team compete? Do we have a space on campus, or is everybody playing games from their house?
So we've done a little bit of both, depending on what circumstances have occurred this season. But normally we do some practices in the evenings remote, so everyone kind of logs on remotely. We use Discord as our voice chat of choice. We meet on game, and we've also set up scrims with other colleges who are looking to compete as well. So right now for Overwatch, we meet every Monday with Lackawanna College from Scranton, Pennsylvania, of all places, and we actually practice with them online. But the actual Twitch Friday comp matches, we are actually in the arena here on campus in Building 7. We got 10 high-grade gaming PCs up there. We have the campus internet at our disposal. So our Twitch the setup is all up there as well, so we can stream the games. And so we have on occasion had to reschedule matches and things like that, a little bit later into the evenings around 7 or 8. So those we've done from home. That way students aren't up here, around 9 or 10. So we've done a little bit of both, but primarily practices are usually at home. Game nights on Fridays are usually in the arena in Building 7.
And then you also practice during the day as well. So while the kids are on campus, you are using the arena
Yes. So the arena is open. We have open scheduled practices for a couple of hours twice a week, where I will meet them during lunch hour and we'll go over some practices for skill-based stuff like aiming, things like that. Talk through competitive strategies, and then sometimes just log into games and have a little bit of fun. But the arena itself is just wide open for students that are athletes between basically 8 a.m. till 6 p.m.
With the esports. So it's a phenomenal facility that the college just put in this year in the top of Building 7. So if you get the chance to come to campus and check it out, we encourage you to do so. You're also hosting a high school Saturday coming up. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell me some more about that.
So next Saturday, April 23rd, 1 to 3 in Building 7, the arena is going to be open for the general public. We're inviting high school seniors from our 5 county service area to come in, bring their parents along, and educate the parents about esports, what kind of scholarship opportunities are available to their kids for playing video games, which they probably thought that would never happen. And so we definitely want to invite them in, have them play around in the arena, get information on what their pursuits are educationally, how the esports program can help them out to acquire those goals. And then we're just going to have some fun and hang out from 1 to 3 next Saturday.
So if I go to one of our district schools, and I am just now learning about this because I'm watching the Wolf Den today, how can I just show up, or is there something I need to do prior? Tell me a little bit about that.
So we do have a sign up as a Google form, but I will set anyone that wants to walk in between 1 and 3. We're definitely encouraging as many people to come out as possible to kind of experience the arena and then just get the word out about the program.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, yeah, I encourage you to come out. If esports does interest you, definitely take John up on this offer, or reach out anytime if you have a conflict in your schedule. We're happy to do that as well, because currently we're in the process of signing letters of intent for next year, correct?
Correct. So I have a couple of athletes that have already come up and played in the arena with the team, and so we've communicated back and forth. So we're looking at trying to get the affidavits and the letter of intent signed for those athletes.
Awesome. So we're already gearing up for next fall. It's going to be a great time. Tell me a little bit about game nights, about competitions. You know what I'm saying here. What does it look like? When do people come in? If I was tuning in online, what are some key things as a non-gamer to look for to know that you're being successful?
We definitely tried to signify which team is ours. There's usually a blue and a red, and so we will definitely try to, if we're home, we're always blue. If we're the away team, we are red. I do some play calling during the stream to try to get everyone to understand what's going on. It's 6 players, 12 total on the screen at the time, so there's a lot of things, abilities going off, things like that. So definitely, my call plays too. I just say, okay, that's a reset for the Timberwolves. There's a great play for the Timberwolves. So so you see someone securing a point, and I say, great play for the Timberwolves. Those are our guys. So that you just definitely seeing I gotta say the elimination feed where they're getting elims or the other team is getting eliminated. If you see a bunch of that coming up on the screen, then you know that we're doing really well. As far as game nights, yeah, we kind of assemble in the arena around about 5:30. We talk about a game plan going in. We kick off the stream about 10-15 minutes prior to game time, so about 5:45, 5:50 we go live. The stream is delayed by 3 minutes because we don't want to be using that as a way to try to see what the other team is doing. We try to make that as a even playing field as possible. So we don't have anyone off to the side, using cameras to get any extra information. Yeah, we definitely, if you hear over my headset a lot of cheers and howls from the team as well, which has happened once or twice, you definitely know that we're doing good.
Awesome. So you can hear them cheering in the background?
Yes.
Awesome. And then aren't some of the camera views of the actual players from time to time? So you can see the person sitting behind the screen as well as the screen that they're playing on, correct?
Absolutely. So we do have a nice setup. We do have a third-person floating camera to kind of give everyone a nice action view. We follow each individual player from a third-person perspective and a first-person perspective, but we also have camera feeds where we're getting webcam views of that student who's playing, and you're getting his point of view of the action as well. So we like to take a minute, particularly when we're resetting between map sets or things like that. I'll switch to a camera feed, give you a little info about the student, because it's hard, you see an athlete, regular athlete playing on the field, and so sometimes, you've got a real person playing behind those avatars on screen, and we definitely want to focus in and feature those students as well.
That's wonderful. I know I appreciate that, and I know some parents do too that have already reached out to me about this season. So thank you for taking the time to do that.
Not a problem. Always a pleasure to see your kid on the field, whether it's a digital one or a real one. So.
For sure, for sure. So through the NJCAA, which stands for Esports, we get to compete against a lot of different schools. Can you give us an idea of how many schools, where those schools are located, maybe just kind of the reach of teams that we play against?
Yeah. So we have faced off against teams such as Lackawanna, which is in Scranton, Pennsylvania, way up north, 2 teams out as far as west as Texas. Usually, depending on how many teams each institution submits, there's usually broken off into brackets. It's a 9-week season. With a 2-week postseason. So we do have a 2-3-week preseason as well, which is optional, but once competitions start, it's 9-week season, and then the top 2 teams from each of those brackets will advance into a final round in those last 2 weeks. So as far as Overwatch, we get placed into a 9-player bracket circuit, and so each of us kind of get matched up, and we play each one across the season. And then if we score in those top 2 based on our win-loss record, then we would move into postseason. At the end of postseason, it's a double elimination tournament, so you got to lose once, go into a loser's bracket. You lose again, you're out. It ends up with the top 2 teams at the end for basically all the bragging rights and a trophy at the end.
So is there any travel? It sounds like it's all from the arena. Is that correct?
Correct. So no travel right now. The NJC has looked at potentially LAN events in the future for these tournaments towards the end, just so to kind of get everyone out to like an actual esports event. Something they were looking at prior to COVID-19, but now that things are kind of have eased off a little bit, this is something they're reapproaching again. So it's like to be in an actual esports arena with all of the nice RGB lighting and all the excitement and thrill, and be able to watch those teams on stage compete. It definitely would bring a whole new level of atmosphere to esports within this scene. So they're looking at trying to host at least that last 2-week postseason, those final tournaments, as an actual LAN event that the final teams can go to and other teams can go and watch as well.
That's wonderful. Man, that's exciting. So I appreciate all this wealth of information that you've shared with us tonight, and I want to wish you the best of luck in your last match and the team as well. We're excited to see you have some returning players, right? So we're looking forward to a strong fall season. We will not compete in the summer.
Correct.
Okay. So in fall, we will have a wonderful team that we're excited. I'm excited to see exactly which games that we end up adding coming up. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to either John or I and cheer the team on. Tune into Twitch and let's go get them.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's go Wolves.
The Wolves.